14th, 1912, when the Titanic sank 400 miles off the coast of Newfoundland. The ship carried 2,200 passengers and crew. 1,500 lost their lives that night. Only 17 lived to tell the tale. 209 bodies were brought back into Halifax, and 150 were laid to rest at the 3 cemeteries. 19 at the Jewish Cemetery, the Baronhurst, 10 at the Mount Olive, the Catholic Cemetery, and 121 at the Fairview Lawn Cemetery, to which we are going to now. Now, Halifax had a very close connection to the Titanic. We had 2 of our own on that ship that night. We had Hilda Slater. She was coming back from England with her trousseau to get married. She did not die, and she went on to live in Vancouver until she died in 1965. And she requested her body to be brought back to Halifax and buried with the rest of the souls here at the cemetery. We had George Wright. He was first-class millionaire passenger. We did not find his body, so he was never recovered. But there is a memorial to him across the harbor in Dartmouth near his brother's grave, and his house still stands in Halifax. It is a mansion in the South End, and it is now home to the Council of Women. Now, on that night, Newfoundland was first called on to go out and pick up the bodies. As you know, Newfoundland is way in the North Atlantic, and they were frozen over that night. They are not a nice free harbor. So Halifax was called on for 2 reasons. We are a nice free harbor, and we were closest to New York for transportation of some of the bodies to go back there, or the families to come into Halifax. So the White Star Line, which owned the Titanic, chartered out 2 boats out of Halifax, the Mackie Bennett and the Carpaccio, and they left Halifax with body bags and ice and pastors, and they went out to the burial ground, and they picked up those poor souls and brought them back to Carlson Wharf in the downtown of Halifax, where your ship is. And they took them by horse and carriage at about 4:20 in the morning, and they transported them to the Halifax Curling Club, where they were laid out to be identified before they were laid to rest in the beautiful cemetery that we are coming up to shortly. Now, the graveyard will be to your right as you get out. You walk to the left to the grave. It's easy to recognize. There's always people by the Titanic gravesite. And sometimes there's a tour going on up there, but all the inscriptions are there and lots of information about the Titanic on all of the plaques on the way up there. You'll see Jay Dawson. Remember the movie with Jack Dawson? Jay Dawson was Joseph Dawson. He was a coal miner on the ship. And the little unknown child, Sidney Leslie Goodsman, which was identified through DNA, is also there, and that's easily recognized. We are at the beautiful Fairview Lawn Cemetery with the Titanic victims at stop number 9.